thing. Keeping healthy, can't complain. How about yourself?
I'm very well, but not sure whether I'm that healthy in compared to yourself there, Z, because you're quite a gym goer, aren't you?
I try to be on there. It's just that the gym going on there, I have 6 months on and 6 months off, and that's the worst.
I think we all fall for that one, don't we? We make the signature. Come on. Anyhow, it's coming up to December. We can become a member again.
Yeah, member
and then
again.
run for about 3 months next year.
No,
and then
New
stop
Year
again.
resolution. Yeah.
But boy, have we got a show for you tonight.
We have indeed.
Empower Hour and Salam Radio. Now, my father, Mr. Randhir Wahiwala, is genuinely, not because he's my father, is principally a legend. The amount of texts that I've received personally, Hasib has had contact, the station's had contact, and it was basically, it always starts with Mr. Wahiwala is a legend. And actually, there's a slight alteration there. It's not Mr. Wahiwala, it's Uncle Wahiwala. Is a legend. That's the bottom line. So today what we're going to do is we actually are so humbled to have Mr. Wahiwala or Uncle Wahiwala here with us in the studio today. Now we're going to have a really lovely conversation. There's been a lot of contact, a lot of communication, many individuals who have asked many things. Before I introduce Mr. Wahiwala.
They have asked quite a few things on there. What the main question the common question people asked me to receive from the listeners was at that time how difficult it was to start a business.
Yeah.
And the employee where you had the security of getting a set wage every month, and then going into business when regarding how do you set up a business, what do you do in a business, there is no set wage.
No.
How am I gonna finance a business? How am I going to do things? And at that time, Uncle Wahiwala, what he did was brilliant, absolutely fantastic.
Well, we are going to be graced with that information very shortly. So I'm going to do my most best. Now I must tell you, to all my listeners here, and Hasib, my brother over here, that this has basically been a personal journey for myself. It's more than a dream. It's more than a dream for me to have my father here live in the studio, and for me to physically be asking some questions, and for Dad to be answering these in a very open way. But for today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to refer to my dad as Mr. Wahiwala only, because it makes life a lot easier for everybody. But may I just introduce, and well, I don't think I can do justice, but let's just introduce my father. He was a qualified electrical engineer way back in the 60s, and Mr. Randhir Wahiwala arrived in 1960s, approximately 64, and quickly established himself as what I call the go-to distinguished member of the Sikh community. But actually, further than just the Sikh community, he was actually a community member of an interfaith level. He assisted so many different communities, if I'm correct. And his first generation basically spans, his business acumen spans now 60 years. That's 6 generations, or 6 decades, should I say. That's 6 decades, not generations, I do apologize. And it all started from way back on Cromwell Road. Now we're going to have the lovely conversation of sharing these informations with you in a moment, but the original shop was Wahiwala Co. And before I go on further, basically, I think about 2 weeks ago, I was speaking with the head of BBC One Extra, and his name is Mark Stripple, and I was just talking to him about it, and he just openly said, "Oh, of course we know Wahiwala Co, because that was synonymous with the Bhangra industry, the Bhangra industry, the music industry in those days." So it was a real humbling pleasure to have heard that so far ahead, and such esteemed individuals as well. Okay, he's created a global empire, including retail, importing, manufacturing, wholesaling, retail, homes, residential homes, and property development, just to name a few. To be honest, I can remember as I grew up in my life, every single week it was as though there was another business to be added to this, or another property that Dad was working on. His acumen, his honesty and his integrity, this shone through every level. But I would like to also mention here, if I may, both my mother, Gurmeet Kaur Wahiwala, and Randhir Wahiwala, my father. They were an amazing duo, very opposites of each other, and spent 16 years. My mum spent 16 years running the businesses as well with my father, and as he will probably share, very much hand in hand in that context. Today, he's a retired man. He has been involved in being a grandfather, a great-grandfather, and now coming up to being a great-great-grandfather very soon, I'm sure. In his 80s, with God's blessings. Let's not waste any more time. Let's please introduce Mr. Wahiwala to the stage, or AKA Uncle Wahiwala.
Hello.
Welcome this evening, Mr. Wahiwala.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. I'm here to see you and also to speak to the community. If they have any question, I will answer for that.
Yeah. Today we have some wonderful questions that are going to come up as well. So before we continue, just 1 second, if you'd like to get hold of Uncle Wahiwala or ask him a question, please do not hold back. Please text or WhatsApp 07745 278 978 as soon as possible. Or if you'd like to speak live, and I was speaking to, I believe, Waj Jaib earlier on today, and he said basically he was going to call in, so I'm waiting for your call, Waj. Studio telephone number to call directly is 01733 602 133. I'm going to repeat 01733 602 133. If there's anybody who'd like to call and ask a question, that'd be really wonderful. But before we continue, I'm going to hand over to Brother Hasib, and we're going to ask a few basic questions about how life was in the 60s and 70s here in England, and in specific in Peterborough.
As I mentioned earlier on, Uncle, what made you start the business? You had a job, had a wage on coming on there, and you had security money, you had to pay the bills. Why did you want to open your own business?
It was in my mind I should work myself for my own business. I was working as an electrician in Peterborough Hospital, and then I start part-time working my business. It was very hard to start full-time business because I was feeling I have children, so I have to afford to them to look after my children, also all expenses. So that's the reason it was very hard for me to start business, but I never feel, no, I'm not going to do. I did it. I start part-time business, then I resign electrician. Full-time I did business. But that time it was very easy to serve the people, easy to serve the customer. But now I feel with difficulty, and the competition wasn't any. These days, very big competition. But I believe business is in the competition. If you have a competition, you got more business. If you don't have competition, you have less business. So you don't have to worry for the competition. You don't have to worry. Same what I'm doing, other person is doing as well. If you're doing electrical work, if you're doing any sort of work, so if some other person start next door to you or some part of you, don't feel very. With the competition, you got more business. What you selling, if he's selling the same thing, doesn't make any difference. Try to find out direct buying. When you got direct buying, then you got profit, and also the less competition. So these days, I think that there was a hard, but now is hard and also easy, because the bank lending more money than before. If you doing business, if you got some backing, show the bank your property assets, and then bank is lending you how much you require. But that time when I start, I went to the bank, asked, I want £500 to buy goods. And the bank, I asked him if he can lend me, and he refused. He said, no, I can't. And then I have to change the bank. I did not felt I can't do more than that. I said I'm going to do. I changed the bank with my older brother, Gurcharan Singh Wahiwala, who was the first person in Cromwell Road shop. And his bank, well, I went to his bank, and then his bank said, okay, I'm going to lend you. And he lent me £500. With that £500, I buy the goods, and was more easy for me to carry on. So I believe any person start business, he don't have to worry, he cannot success. If he hard work, feel himself, I'm not going to worry, I'm going to work. With hard work, he can be success. Nobody can not success. Everybody can success if you work hard. And with me, myself, I never fail. I never say anything I cannot do. If any, and then I was working, if any job new come in front of me, and I never refuse, I cannot, I did it.
Brilliant attitude.
That's
Fantastic
right.
attitude.
So just to repeat that, just to clarify, so we can get some more refinements. There's so many nuggets that were just shared there in such a short period of time, and we're only about 3 minutes into the interview here. So as Mr. Wahiwala says, that there are no reasons at all to not believe that your business will be a success. That's the key. And also, he himself has never said no. He's never had the feeling to ever...
Fantastic attitude.
That's right. Never even had the feeling, Hasib, to even, and all the viewers, but I hope you're getting all this information really, really clearly. Never even had the feeling that he was going to fail in the first place. So he started life with the positive attitude. So it was hard in the earlier days. In 1960s, Dan was saying that he was very, very hard. Mr. Wahiwala said that he went to the bank and he got a rejection. Now, in this modern day, a lot of people, they do a lot of thinking. But he was determined to start his business, or to start the stock. So he went back and carried on, and then he went to his older brother, just to share again, which is my uncle as well, but his older brother, Mr. Gurcharan Singh Wahiwala, who was the first person who came here in the 40s, who had his very first shop here in Peterborough on the Cromwell Road area, our infamous Cromwell Road, the heart of our hub and community. So he went over to him, and his bank manager said, I will lend you the money based on that, on your exercise and your work and your trust. So just Mr. Wahiwala, just a clarification here. Did you ever feel like, I mean, this is kind of a bit of a hard question so quickly, but did you ever feel like giving up? That the business was not working?
No, I never felt. I always felt I'm going to do it.
Wonderful.
So I carry on. If I have a slow sometime, and I feel I'm not at the moment hard, but I always I feel I'm going to do this job. Anything I never felt, and I never gave up.
So a great message there for all the children, right? Never ever give up. Have your mindset and just go for it, right?
Absolutely. Mr. Wahiwala, you know, many people, as I said, you know, the bank, you went to the bank and they rejected a loan for yourself. They say the first thing people are, I went to the bank and I said no. You know, it matters in the attitude. Mr. Wahiwala said, I will do it. I will get this done. And, you know, he saw another opportunity and took the opportunity. And as Mr. Wahiwala said, he did not give up. And it's a strong message to anyone in business. Regarding customer base, how did you think you were going to build a customer base? Who were you going to sell to?
You have to be polite with the customer. If the customer bring anything return, and don't tell them I'm not going to return. Change it or give them money. But don't lose the customer. Customer is always right. If you return him, you lost not one customer, you lost more than one customer.
Brilliant advice.
Wow.
So, advice to everybody, every customer, you feel he's my business. I'm going to earn from him or her. Don't give up. Don't feel I'm not going to do it. In Urdu, they say the himte marda marde khuda. It means who's going to try and try again, the God will help him. So you must do. Don't lose it.
What a powerful message there. He who helps himself, God helps him too. So it's a beautiful message that goes across all faiths and all religions, and it's so poignant at this moment. A question that I'd just like to say, I mean, what sort of adversity, what sort of problems did you face in business when you were going, I mean, the hours that you worked? I can remember from having these discussions with Mum and yourself at home, that you would do a whole day's worth of work, and then you'd come back in the evening and you'd carry on going door to door. Please carry on.
I was working nearly 12 hours, 16 hours a day, but I never feel I'm not going to. Sometime I was working in my shop to repair any furniture, and my mother used to come, please stop and come to
Wow.
come to have a lunch and evening meal. I was telling, okay, Mom, I'm coming any minute. But any minute, what I was feeling, if I did not finish now, it will take tomorrow more hours. So anything you're doing, don't give up, don't feel, do today, don't leave for tomorrow. If you leave for tomorrow, you're not going to leave for tomorrow, you're going to leave for day and day and day. So best way, what you doing today, you must finish.
That's such a powerful point. So if you've got something, all the viewers, all the listeners, please don't forget to text in or communicate and talk to us on WhatsApp on 07745 278 978. It's Salam Radio, and this is the Empower Hour with the legendary Mr. Wahiwala Senior, Mr. Randhir Singh Wahiwala, by myself, Sukhi Wahiwala, and also Brother Hasib over there. And if you'd like to call and speak to him live, I'm sure we can manage that as well. Please call the studio on 01733 602 133. Now, we've had some very powerful conversation there about never giving up, help yourself and keep yourself moving. Brother Steve, you had something to say.
Another thing, Uncle Wahiwala, I want to ask yourself is, how important did your wife play a role in helping your business? your wife helping you in your business. She used to work with yourself in the business. How important was that for you?
It was very important to me because extra person helping me, and I can trust for everything. I can leave the business on to her because that business belonged to me and her. And also, it wasn't she worry if she have to more hours working. So you have to, in business, you have to work more hours. With more hours, you earn more. And if you feel I have to work only 8 hours and I should earn more, no chance. You must more work, more hours and more work. You're getting more.
A lovely message there. There is no shortcut, team. There is no shortcut. You have to take the stairs. That's one step at a time. Put the hours in, put the focus in, put the outcome in, and you'll get the results. See?
Another thing I want to ask you, when you started your business, there must have been some mistakes that you made. What did you learn from?
You learn with every mistake. Any mistake you do and you learn. With that mistake, you have more experience. If somebody is not teaching you, you're learning from the mistake. So you don't have to worry what you done mistake. You can correct yourself and carry on.
Another thing we were talking earlier before the radio show was something that you mentioned, and I think that was very important, was getting the products. Getting the products at that time wasn't easy, direct from the wholesaler, because there were many barriers there. Now it's a lot simpler, a lot easier than it was before. How did you pass that? How did you get over that barrier?
I was from the other businessman, English businessman, where I was buying material and I was selling material to them also. I was having reference to buy any wholesale or director of the firm where I was selling and buying material. So that was big help to me, because there was my sport was doing that English company, and the English company those days there wasn't easy to selling, but when it was selling there wasn't mind anything. When you're doing the business right to them, and they're doing very good to you.
So you're saying basically that the support that you got from the host British community was very, very strong. I mean, because they saw that you were an honest man and that you actually came in to do some business in an open-hearted way. And they used to support you with like stock and a bit of credit, or was it just as a whole that would help you in every which way? We're about a minute away from our break, for our 4-minute break. So just a nice little synopsis would be good. A short conversation. So did you find that they helped you in specific in any particular way?
When you were buying, did they give you some help? Like
they was doing. They was helping me because I was good to them. They was good to me.
That's the key there.
That's the biggest, more important, because I wasn't trying to cheat anything with anybody. And when I was buying true.
Okay, we're going to just cut in a second here. So this is Salam Radio. Please do tune back in with an Empower Hour with Mr. Wahiwala Senior, and we'll see you very, very soon. We're going to take a very short commercial break. What a powerhouse. What a lovely bit of information we get.
Stay tuned to Salam Radio after this short ad break.
It does not take much to bring some difference. You give some change, which makes a change, because nothing gets mileage like a charity. Just a little change turns into a chain, and before we know it, the results are massive. So give a little to make a big difference. To give donations, call UKIM on 0207 387 2157.
Had a car accident or an accident at work? Accident specialists are experts in no-win, no-fee accident claims. Leave the hassle to us. Our multilingual settlement experts will manage the entire claims process on your behalf, with nothing to pay up front. We provide services such as credit hire, taxi vehicles, recovery, storage and much more. For full details on our range of services and a free consultation, call us on 01733 555 774 or visit our office at 249 Lincoln Road opposite the NatWest Bank. Accident specialists. Start your successful claim today.
Do you own a restaurant or takeaway? Caterfair is an expert supplier of new and used commercial catering equipment. Visit caterfair.co.uk for quality equipment on sale at the lowest prices, or call us on 01733 310 115 or visit us at 11 Royce Road, Fengate, Peterborough.
Is your child spending too long on their tablet or games console? Are they getting enough exercise? How about introducing them to wrestling? Fatua Freestyle Wrestling Club is the only wrestling club in the Peterborough area registered to the British Wrestling Association. Wrestling is a prophetic sunnah sport that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and his companions regularly participated in. Wrestling at a young age helps with flexibility, fitness, self-confidence and teamwork. Our sessions are taught by a top British wrestling coach with over 20 years experience. Every Monday and Wednesday at the Gladstone Park Community Centre on Borge Boulevard, 5:30 to 6:40 p.m. for ages 4 to 7 and 6:45 to 8 p.m. for ages 8 to 13. Monthly fees are only £10 for 8 classes ages 4 to 7 and only £15 for 8 classes ages 8 to 13. Your first session is free, so come and give us a try. To enrol, contact 07971 448847. Fatua Freestyle Wrestling Club, every Monday and Wednesday at the Gladstone Park Community Centre.
Have you ever been tempted? Have you ever tried? The things I will say may cause you to cry. The things that can happen if you ever take a drug. You always be tired, you be as slow as a slug. There's so many illnesses sure to be caught. Your lungs, your heart and your brain will rot. If you ever take drugs, you never turn back. Health, wealth and your looks will lack. You'll be trapped forever under the spell of cocaine, marijuana and others to tell. Take a single drug, you'd only want more. Temptations coming straight out the door. They'll run you out of town, they won't want you back. The only place you live is a run down shack. If you're still taking drugs, I know you're a fool. Back then they were popular, now they're not cool. Experiment, interest or any other reason, you consuming drugs is worse than even treason. If you still ain't convinced, I don't know what to say. Just that drugs can conquer the life you live today.
You're listening to Peterborough's community radio, Salam Radio, 106.2 FM.
You are listening to Empower Hour on Salam Radio 106.2 FM. The purpose and objective of Empower Hour is to inspire, encourage and empower you to become bigger and better in all walks of life. My name is Muhammad Hasib. I've got my co-host Sukhi Wahiwala.
Hello Hasib, and we have a massive treat today.
We have before the break, I'll let you introduce who we got, all the guests today, but there have been some golden nuggets, fantastic advice.
So basically this evening, Empower Our team and the whole of our community that's listening, we've been overwhelmed with responses and contacts, to be honest, with via SMS and text, just sending some love and regard to Mr. Wahiwala, or Uncle Wahiwala, as everybody keeps saying to Dad. I'm just going to read out a couple of messages here. It says, awesome Bapuji, which means awesome uncle, awesome granddad. It says, great personality by Mr. Raja Sabil, great personality of Peterborough, a great family friend, regards Councillor Gul Nawaz. And a number of other people, my own brother, etc., and my sister saying hello, hi, and they've actually pulled up on the side of the road, as far as I can hear, to actually listen to this live broadcast because they're on the way back from another city. So please do keep communicating with ourselves, and as Hasib just said there a moment ago, do text in on 07745 278 or 978, or communicate via our online Facebook page, which we're on live Facebook Live now. So we're going to move on a little bit further into the conversation now. Mr. Wahiwala, you've actually been very much recognized within the Peterborough community as an interpersonal or interfaith personality. Now that means basically somebody who sees a neutrality between all of our communities, within whether it's the Pakistani community, whether it's the Afro-Caribbean community, the British English community, the Christian community. As far as back as I can remember being your son and being very humbled to be in that space, I can remember every week somebody was coming around our house, whether it was bless him, Frank Suri, who used to be a councillor in those days, whether it's Jennifer Suri, whether it was currently now Lord Mohini, who's retired, and I'm sure his name is mentioned there, and Reverend Peyton. Now you're constantly in this circle of high-end influence. Now the children of today, and us today, ourselves as well, I don't classify myself as a child just yet, but what specific happened in your time that allowed you to connect to such warm personality? Was it your honesty and integrity and ambition?
Honesty. Integrity also. Yeah. To keep the community together.
Yes.
Together. I was with Muslim community. Many meetings I did with them, with the English and Italian and other. So my feeling was also keep together with these people to help the community and enjoy myself.
Yeah, and so connecting with these high personalities within the political realm. You know, I mean, I went to Jack Hunt School when I was there, and I'm sure everybody could hear that as well. And we had Mr. Taylor Senior, who was our what you call it? Sorry, I do apologise. Our headmaster at the time, and I'm telling you, he was very well esteemed in the Peterborough area. But they were all just your friends. I mean, how did this all happen?
Well, friends, you have to make. It's easy to say he's my friend, but friendship is very hard to keep it. Friendship have to be with the honesty, each other, respect, and learn from each other, from the community. That's my way was always. Any higher than me, I feel everybody's higher than me. I was respecting them.
Very humble.
Humble. So don't feel I am the above than so and so. Try to keep lower and enjoy and do work. In this way, you can earn more than lose.
Right. So, I've got a question for yourself. As you were growing up,
Yes.
people are growing up that they want to look up to someone, have a role model, but you had a role model at home. And were you sometimes worried that to succeed to what your dad was doing, that you could be seen as a failure, or when you were stuck or something, you need some help, you could approach your dad? How did you feel having such a brilliant role model?
Well, do you know, Hasib, that's such a powerful question, and obviously we are talking about father, and I'm going to say it to his in front of him, if I may. My father and my mother are both, and my brothers as well, brother and my sisters as well, they're all very, very esteemed, but in specific my father, he never made it hard to come up to him to ask any advice or any way forward. So if there was a problem or a challenge that came forward, Dad was the first person to turn around and have ears for you, to sit down and say, okay, so what's the current challenge? So why don't you do it this way? Why don't you do it this way? So I will say, Hasib, as a personal person who's been blessed and honoured to be within the Wahiwala family of 7 generations of business ethics and understanding, and trust me, when I say that at the home, these little nuggets, they ooze out, and I mean this seriously. It's a very humble thing to be just be enriched in it and actually live the life itself. So no, both my father and my mum never ever gave me any kind of feelings as though I had to produce or be something special, or more importantly, they didn't even ever turn around and said you failed at anything. It was actually, okay, so get on with it, do it again. And it was just a constant push. I was surrounded by this positive nature that we were always brought up with. And I can remember very, very clearly, on many occasions, I probably should have had a little clip around the ear. In those days, we could do that, so that's a little bit of a political conversation, right? But in those days, I expected it. But my father never did. He never did, and his voice was sufficient enough. And I will say one thing that I am today is with honour to Mr. Wahiwala Senior and my mother, Gurmeet Kaur Wahiwala, because I quote them all the time from the stage. Even this morning I was with Marriott School, Marriott group of hotels, and I was quoting both my parents from the stage. So it's an integrous part of my life, and so I hope that answers the question.
Oh, it does.
I've had nothing but support and nothing but encouragement, and more importantly, that go-get, which was my father was just sharing right now. For me, it's genuinely a dream to have my dad here in front of me in a radio station and actually sharing this knowledge with the masses. And I hope the audience is actually really taking value from this as well. So, a question I'd like to just boil for, if I can, Mr. Wahiwala. The question is that you were very effective at creating what I call community mediation, so that there was never a conflict. If there was, you were always there. You never saw any religious barrier between yourself and the other person. So what is the secret? Because I think community today is changing. We're starting to get these little factions between us, that we're from the Pakistani community, we're from the Shia community, the Sunni community, and we're from the Sikh community, and we're from other communities. So what was it within yourself that wanted to keep everybody together?
Well, Sikhism is one of the religion combined.
Yeah.
In our Guru Granth Sahib, Muslim, Farid Sahib, Kabir Sahib, and many other, and Hindu, and cobbler, you can say. So these people was holy peoples are giving us living, how to live.
Giving advice in the embodied.
Guru Granth Sahib is definition. Guru Granth Sahib is one of the teacher. Guru means a teacher. So Guru Granth Sahib is a teacher of the society and people. So that's the reason I was keep going. I never felt any different between Muslim and Shia and any other religion, because we believes we are born in one way and going to die in the same way. Some people's bury. I was just talking with my friend here.
Son over here, Hasib.
So some people burn and some people bury. When the minutes I die, body is nothing. You can do with the body anything. So I feel every religion the same.
Unequal.
They are one way to go. We're going to reach to God, and to reach to God is prayer and honesty. Help the people if you can. If you cannot help, don't hate.
Wow. Such a beautiful message.
Brilliant message.
Try to help if you can. From your salary, what you earn, we believe, our Granth say the 10% you are earning, used to the people are living, they have nothing to eat, nothing to sleep. So these sort of people help them.
Wow.
And carry on. So that's, you're not losing, you earning. You earning, you are feeling. You feeling better. So carry on way to.
So what you're trying to say is basically by giving, by communicating, by what we call tithing, zakat and seva, we're basically, or daswand, we're basically saying as you're giving away, you actually feel better within yourself. Is that right?
Yes. What you are spending on these sort of people, they will help you for the, what do you call it, say, assis?
Yes, that's the blessing, basically.
Blessing?
Yeah.
So with blessing those people, it will help for your life.
Amazing.
Carry on how much and how long you can. Don't give up.
Wow.
Brilliant advice.
Try to keep the community, to live with the community.
So integrate and keep together.
Together.
Also, Uncle Wahiwala, just wanted to ask you, how did you, your work and your life, how did you balance that? With your family, spending time with your family and your work, how did you balance that? Because as you said, your mum used to say, "Come on, son, it's time to come home and eat."
Yeah, my mom was I was very attached with the mother. And my mom was always worried for me. If I working overtime, if I out of the house to working, driving or something, but she was worried. She never slept before I into my house. So that's the way it was our life. So same ways now, my family, my grandchildren are doing the same thing what I was doing with my mother and father. I believe every family do the same thing what we are doing in my family. I'm very happy. Every child is helping me. My Sukhi's wife is helping me the same way my wife was helping my mother. So we was following, they are following. If you do anything good, the children will follow you. If you do anything bad, the children will follow you. So try to do good and children will follow you, and there will be better life.
A question I'd like to put to yourself, Mr. Wahiwala, is if a business is started a new business, what advice would you give them? What should they be doing? So if I've started a new business today and I come to yourself for advice and saying, I'm started a business, what should I be looking at?
My advice to start a business, you have to be backing of the security to start a business. With the security, you have power and you never fail. Try hard. Don't feel and don't give up. Don't feel I'm not going to be
successful.
Don't feel. Just do it again. If it's a mistake, do it again.
So keep pushing through with grit.
It's more important backing of the new business. You should need backing means the house security to the bank, and bank will lend you what you require more than what you got in a pocket. With that money, carry on with the business. Don't feel the bank is not going to give you. If you do right business with the bank will lend you more what you have security.
So
So
do you feel that starting with the process of actually starting a business, you yourself, I mean, the young generation are listening today, they're here, they're online, and they're listening to ourselves from Facebook, etc. And the question I'm going to ask yourself is that if somebody has an idea in their mind to start a business, to run a business, how should they, get passionate, or should they enjoy the business first, or should they just get on with get enjoyment out of starting the business?
Just look to other person, what they're doing. Their business, what you going to do, try to see any difference with the second business. But this is my only advice. Don't give up.
Mm-hmm.
Must do work hard.
Wonderful.
And for the business, you need the backing, the security, and you can be success. You will be success.
That's brilliant advice. Brilliant. When you started your business, how important was the location of your business? Because it's on Cromwell Road, the community hub. You know, you have the products where you know where your customers want you could sell it to. So how important is the location of a business?
Location of the building. One day I was opening a wholesale business in London, and I asked my friend in London, what do you think I start business in this street? There was street. He said, if you have to sell something, they will come to you.
Interesting. Interesting.
Very interesting.
If you have something to sell to the customer, he will come. And more customer and more business will be here, not there. But business is, with the competition, I keep saying now. Those days, we were starting business in street. It wasn't opportunity to go to the center of the town. So that's the reason I myself start business in road, Cromwell Road. But I was buying goods to sell. And the people was coming. The day I was running the business, Cromwell Road shop, I was selling everything. Nobody can, myself, my son, my advice was, don't let any customer go without empty hand, with the empty hand. Must sell something. Try to sell what you got. If customer wants one item, find in the shop to sell it. Don't feel I don't have. Try to find out. Customer is more important than any other.
Yeah, customer's always right. Yes, it's a centre. So now we're coming towards the end of the show, and I'm going to make a bit of a statement if I can. So Mr. Wahiwala started his business in 1967. He became 68. 68, yeah, that's right. Yes, sorry. Do you apologise, everybody? You see, no. Dad's dad. So 1968, and when you're talking best part of, mapping 6 generations, six decades. That's an impressive conversation. Impressive and not only was it one business, he basically became what we call the community hub. And all I can tell you is I can remember when I kind of took into the shop, and I'm at the other end, I'm the youngest of his children. And when I came into that shop within itself, my first conversation was my father said to me, son, let me share with you something. This is a family shop. And I mean a family shop in the sense of all of our sisters, our aunts, and all the friends that were going to come into the shop. He said, do not ever let me feel that you have not treated them as though they're your own sister with the same respect that you'd offer to yourself, to your own family. He said, so this is very important. This is the Wahiwala shop. And our name Wahiwala has become quite synonymous with the Peterborough area. And the love, the affection that people have been sharing with my father over the internet, via myself and via Hasib and via the whole website, etc., has been overwhelming. We've been very, very humbled by this. This whole conversation, we are thinking of bringing my father back, Mr. Wahiwala, back again on a Urdu showing of some kind. So please stay with us. Now, I'm sure you'd agree, it's been an absolute dream.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure just listening to them. with what advice have been given. Fantastic advice.
So we'd like to thank you, Mr. Wahiwala, for being here tonight. And I know it's late, and I know you're tired as well. So thank you very much for being here on a personal level from the hosts of the Empower Hour at the Salam Radio 106.2 FM. And also, please, please, please keep tuning in. Give us your support. We're just about to cut off very shortly. But just before we leave, I just want everybody to understand, please take the nuggets that were shared today. The inner strength, the integrity, the honesty, the effort, never taking no for an answer, being ready to do today's work today instead of waiting for tomorrow. And hopefully the future is going to be bright. The future is going to be an honest one, and the integration between all of our communities, seeing it as one, because we are a community in Peterborough within itself. We're quite lucky that we have this love between ourselves. So good night and God bless. Thank you very much from Salam Radio and Hasib.
Your number one for local, national and international news across